When you're building a sequence, you'll often find that you have the right material in your timeline, but some of the clips are in the wrong place. In this video, we'll take a look at some tools to help you tweak your timeline. The most important editing feature in the timeline is the Smart tool. The Smart tool is actually a collection of 5 tools that can be used to perform the most common edits. You can click one of the tool buttons to enable it and click it again to disable it. However, as you've already seen, the Avid is all about efficiency. So instead of constantly moving your mouse back and forth between tools, you can actually work with multiple tools at once. Select both the Segment Mode Lift Overwrite and Extract Splice In tools. Now when you move your cursor over a clip in the timeline, the cursor icon changes depending on where you place it. When your cursor is placed at the top half of a clip, it becomes the Lift Overwrite tool. When it's positioned in the lower half of the clip, it becomes the Extract Splice In tool. Let's see how these work together. Sometimes you'll find that you want to keep a clip in your sequence, but move it to a different location. Here we'll group the 2 women shots together rather than have the shot of the man wedged between them.
With people and cultures as unpredictable as the...
Move your mouse to the base of a clip to activate the Extract Splice In tool, and then drag left or right. Remember, you can hold down the Command key on the Mac or the Control key on a PC to snap to transition points. You'll notice a pretty dramatic change to your Composer window. Instead of 2 monitors, you now have 4. The 2 inside monitors show you the in and out points of the clip you're moving. The 2 outer monitors show you the last frame before the new insertion point and the first frame after the new insertion point. Your clip will be spliced in between these 2 frames. Release the mouse and your clip is removed from its original position and spliced into the timeline again at its new location. The clips in between shuffle accordingly to make room.
With people and cultures as unpredictable as the landscape.
Now let's take a look at an overwrite edit in the timeline. Further down the timeline, we have a rough camera move to cover up. We'll use an overwrite edit to move a cutaway shot across it.
I don't want to push this into the ground, obviously, but I'll push.
Position your cursor over the top half of the clip and drag. You'll see the same basic behavior as you move the clip, but this time when you release the mouse, the clip overwrites whatever video was underneath it.
I don't want to push this into the ground, obviously.
Notice too that none of the other clips are shifted in time. That's because an empty space called filler was added to the timeline at the original clip location to hold all the other clips in their original positions. You can then edit a new clip over the filler at a later time. So you now know how to move clips around the timeline, but what if you just want to delete a clip? In that case, you need to perform either an extract or a lift. Now, the segment mode tools include lift and extract functions, but there are also dedicated buttons for both of these edits. Before we look at them, let's deactivate the segment mode tools. The Smart tool includes a handy toggle bar to quickly enable or disable the current selection of tools. Click it and all current tools are deactivated. Click it again and the most recent selection of tools are re-enabled. Since we're about to work with the dedicated lift and extract tools, we'll click to deselect all enabled tools. Deleting clips is fairly straightforward. Move the position indicator over the clip you want to remove. Click the Mark Clip button. The timeline in and out points are immediately set to the start and end of the clip. If you set in and out points in error, click the Clear Both Marks button. Here we do want them, so we'll click the Mark Clip button again. Now all you need to do is click either the Extract or Lift button. If you click Extract, the selected clip is deleted and the contents of the timeline to the right are shuffled down to fill the gap. Undo, and let's take a look at Lift. When you press Lift, the clip is deleted but replaced with filler. In other words, the position of all other clips in the timeline remains the same. Something important to keep in mind when performing an edit like this, make sure you know the state of the record track buttons. If a track button is deselected, then that track won't be affected by an extract or lift edit, even if it's audio that belongs to the video being extracted. So make sure you have the record track buttons enabled for any tracks you plan to delete. In the next video, we'll take a look at how to fine-tune the edit points between the segments using the trim tools.